You understand your triggers. You can identify where they come from. You have language for your patterns. You may have even done a lot of work on yourself already. So why are you still so reactive and defensive? And why does that quietly turn into the question, what's wrong with me? If you're competent, capable, and still find yourself hooked by small moments, this is not a failure of growth. It's a misunderstanding of what your reactivity actually is. Hi, I'm Kristen. I work with high-achieving, ambitious adults who are competent, self-aware, and still get pulled into anxiety, defensiveness, or shame when something small hits a nerve. So today we're going to talk about why reactivity persists even when you have insight, and how to move from what's wrong with me to this makes sense. Because the issue is not that you lack awareness. It's that you're trying to think your way out of something that was built to protect you a long time ago. Reactivity in high-functioning adults rarely looks dramatic. It looks composed on the outside, but frantic and chaotic on the inside. It looks like over-explaining after someone questions your idea. It looks like replaying a comment or conversation for hours. It looks like a subtle shift in your tone that you later analyze in detail. Often you're aware it's happening while it's happening, and that makes it even more frustrating because you think, I know why I do this, I understand this pattern, but your body is already activated. That is the important part. Your body is activated. Insight lives in your thinking mind. Reactivity lives in your protection system, your nervous system. These are not the same thing. You can understand your reactions and still have a nervous system that reacts before your insight gets a vote. For high achievers, the trigger is rarely just the event. It's what the event means about you and what it stirs up from the past. So you might be confident in what you can do, but you're less certain about who you are if you're not doing those things all the time. And when your sense of worth is closely tied to competence, feedback doesn't feel neutral. It feels really personal. Not because you're fragile, but because somewhere along the way, being capable became the way you stayed acknowledged, respected, or valued. So let's imagine a senior leader. We'll call her Rachel. She presents a strategy. Someone says, I think we can add to this. That's it. It's not harsh. It's not humiliating. But Rachel feels her chest tighten. She starts explaining herself. Later that night, she replays the comment while brushing her teeth. She tells herself, this shouldn't bother me. But what is actually happening underneath? The surface moment is feedback. The deeper meaning is if I'm not exceptional, I lose value. And that belief didn't appear out of nowhere. Maybe outcomes were praised, but effort was never acknowledged. Or maybe being capable made her indispensable. Or maybe achievement was how she earned approval and belonging. So when feedback lands, her system doesn't hear, revise that document. It hears, your value might be unstable. So of course she reacts. Reactivity is not immaturity, it's protection. And many high-functioning adults carry beliefs like these. If I make a mistake, I'll lose credibility. If I'm not impressive, I'll become invisible. If I'm not needed, I'll no longer be valuable. If I slow down, I'll fall behind. These beliefs often build successful careers. They also make your sense of worth feel conditional. And when your worth feels conditional, every evaluation feels like a threat. Insight can identify the belief, but if the belief still feels emotionally true, your system will continue to react as if it's protecting you, because it is. So after the reaction comes the self-judgment. I should be past this by now. Why am I still like this? I know better. That layer is often even more damaging than the reaction itself. Because now you're not only reacting to the outside world, you're turning against yourself. And that reinforces the original fear, that you're only okay when you're composed, impressive, and in control. Shame increases pressure. Pressure increases reactivity. And then the cycle continues. So if you want to shift reactivity, you have to go underneath it. Instead of asking, why did I react? Ask, what did this moment feel like it was saying about me? When someone questions you, what does it imply? When someone's disappointed, what does that mean? When you make a mistake, what's your interpretation of that? Most reactions are not about the event, they're about the meaning underneath the event. So this is not about suppressing your reaction. It's about understanding and rewiring it. So step one is to notice. Notice what's happening in your body. Tight chest, pit in your stomach, knot in your throat. Describe it without attacking yourself. You're just observing a pattern, not diagnosing a flaw. Step 2 is name the belief. Ask yourself, if this were truly threatening, what would it say about me? Let the honest answer surface. Maybe it would mean I'm incompetent, or it would mean I'm not good enough, or it would mean I'm not valuable. Now the reaction makes sense. You're not overreacting to feedback. You're reacting to a perceived threat to your worth. And step 3 is choose a steadier response. A steadier response is not a forced positive thought. It's a grounded reminder. For example, this is feedback about something I did, not a verdict about who I am. Or my value is not on trial here. My value is inherent. Or one moment does not define me. This is temporary. Slow your breathing, pause before responding. You're showing your system that evaluation is uncomfortable, but not actually dangerous. And over time, that changes the pattern. Not instantly, but steadily. So as long as your sense of worth depends on proving yourself, every interaction carries pressure. When your sense of worth becomes less dependent on performance, feedback becomes easier to tolerate. Mistakes become specific instead of global. They become opportunities for growth instead of an indication of failure. You don't stop caring, you just stop reacting to something that isn't true. The goal is not to eliminate emotion, it's to feel steadier inside yourself. When you no longer feel that your identity is constantly at risk, your reactions naturally soften. Your reactions are not proof that you're flawed. They're proof that something in you learned how to survive. The work is not eliminating that part of you. It's helping it realize that you're not in that perceived danger anymore. You're not your reactions. You're the one who can notice them, understand what they're protecting, and respond differently over time. That's growth. If this resonated, complete this sentence in the comments. My reaction is trying to protect me from blank, not the behavior, the belief underneath it. And if you want to go deeper into building a sense of worth that's not dependent on performance, I share more of this work in my weekly newsletter. The link is below.